Good evening and welcome back to NoQuipFootball here on NoQuip Sports, your no funny business source of just football news. You get in, you get out, 5 to 7 minutes tops. Hopefully pick up some fantasy advice as well as some pick'ems along the way. So friends, we're just going to dive into part 3 here. We got 3 more 1 o'clock games on Sunday. First, starting with a New England Patriots game at 13-2, visiting the Miami Dolphins at 10-5. Just so you all know now, it's my understanding that this game could be flexed down to 425, so be aware of that for all of you fans of the Dolphins and the Pats out there. NoQuip Sports is picking New England to win this game. I think that it's just going to be a crush fest, especially since now you have Matt Moore instead of Ryan Tannehill. However, New England tends to struggle. This last game of the year, they're always down in Miami. They're always in a position where they're in the driver's seat. But to my understanding, compared to last year, so last year it was my understanding that Bill was going for health rather than putting his foot to the gas pedal. So I think this time around he's going to treat it a lot differently. We're going to come into this game and we're going to wreck instead of sit back. And, you know, I think that Miami defense will give us some struggles. However, at the end of the day, I think the Patriots will end up prevailing. As always, they're a very smart team. They'll figure it out. And I think Miami is in a little bit too much of a tussle with that key injury that they have right now to pull it together. Anyways, next game we have is the Chicago Bears at 3-12 visiting the Minnesota Vikings at 7-8. NoQuip Sports is officially picking Minnesota to win this game. They are out of the playoffs here, people. But the thing is, I'm not surprised. It seemed like after week 6, maybe 5, their defense kind of dropped off from that outrageous performance that they were having at the very beginning of the season. They also had some very key things happen to them, like Adrian Peterson was gone yet again, Teddy Bridgewater gone, and then so their offensive situation took a dive. At the same time, their defensive situation took a dive. Now, don't get me wrong, defense wins championships, but a defense should not carry your team like it did at the beginning, because that was bound to go away. Teams are going to figure it out and see like, oh, okay, we can't do that to them, but if we do this, it'll be a lot safer and potentially more effective, and that's exactly what's happened. So what everybody found out very quickly is that Minnesota is not necessarily pretenders for being a playoff threat, but also they totally were, because they didn't continue to make the adjustments as teams were adjusting to them as well. And that's just how it goes. But anyways, Minnesota should win this game. Chicago is nothing to really be incredibly worried about, except for Jordan Howard, who's been having a great time. Jay Cutler is out. I don't know who their backup is, but that guy obviously has not been performing either. So I think they need to rebuild the team. Not rebuild it necessarily, but bring in a good quarterback and then build around that quarterback as well. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, next we have the Buffalo Bills at 7-8 visiting the New York Jets at 4-11. Also at 1 o'clock. NoQuip Sports is picking Buffalo to win this game. The New York Jets, in terms of the AFC East, have been the stomping pad. Not quite like the Cleveland Browns. However, they've just been horrific this year. None of their quarterbacks, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Geno Smith, who is actually injured again, or Bryce Petty, have been able to throw. I feel like their interceptions to completion ratio is way more interceptions to completions or drops or anything, because they just throw interceptions. That's literally all they do. They just go out and they throw interceptions. They're playing for the other team or something. I don't know what's going on there. It's craziness. But yeah, so Buffalo's picked to win. They're a little bit unstable as well. You know, not because of their head coach. I mean, I could talk about that all day long. I'm very much an AFC East guy, but I think they do. I think they take care of business against the Jets, and then they go home at 500. They won't hit the playoffs because the AFC is already decided. All 6 positions. It's just a matter of who gets what for clinching and all that. And yeah, I think they go home, and I think they reevaluate if they want to keep Rex, even though they made it to 500. But I think he made it to 500 on the back of LaShawn McCoy, if we're being totally honest here. So we'll see what happens there. But anyways, another news, folks. Don't forget that there will be no video on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. I'm actually considering New Year's Eve, maybe doing a news update of some sort, but we'll see what happens as the week goes along. Also, I'm going to add the CBS playoff picture link down below. I like the way that they show the site, so you can check out the playoff picture and see a little bit more of what I'm talking about, and maybe even get a little bit of ahead of the game what I'm going to be talking about throughout the week. So anyways, while you're all here, don't forget to subscribe to NoQuip Sports here on YouTube by clicking that button right down there, or the annotation right about here. And also like NoQuip Sports on Facebook, rather. The link to that will be in the description down below. And also Twitter at NoQuip Sports. That link will be below as well. You can follow us there. We're going to live tweet games that we don't do live video for as much as possible. And also, don't forget, folks, very important news. January 5th is coming upon us very, very quickly, and NoQuip Hockey is coming. Josh Glidden and I just had a nice little meeting last night, and we're gonna surprise you all with some stuff. So I hope you all are ready. It's gonna be a really fantastic game. A really fantastic side of NoQuip Sports. We're going to add that to the mix. So, as always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I wish that you're having the best holiday season ever yet, and as we are slowly rolling into 2017, and as always, go football.